We are exactly 365 days from the next general election, and with that, the political climate is expected to undergo major shifts. Welcome to the show. Today, I want us to discuss this. Is it possible to win the presidency without forming a coalition? There's been a tradition since 2002 at the height of multi-party democracy for those seeking political power, especially at the top level, to form coalitions. This year, the DP has said he does not need to form a coalition to vie for the presidency. He says that UDA, the party itself, is a national outfit. Other candidates are still in the process of making their own formations. So today, in the comments, can we talk about this? Can one party go alone at first try and win the presidency? Yeah, let's talk about that in the comments. Also, I have a summary of today's big news and trending topics. Welcome to Speedfeed. Mr. Kimani Bogwe is my name. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I see you who is just tuning right now. Yeah, thank you so much for joining the stream today. And as per the description of this post, we are asking, is it possible for a new party to go at it alone and clinch the presidency? Remember, for you to govern, you need numbers in parliament, in the Senate, and you also need the presidency. Yeah, the ticket for the president and the deputy president is tied. Yeah. For one to win the presidency here in Kenya, there is the 50+1 constitutional threshold, which means 50% of all the votes cast, means half of the votes plus one vote. That's one threshold. And there's also another one, which a lot of people are not aware of, but you also have to get at least 25% of votes in at least 24 counties. Yeah, 24 counties out of the 47. Those are two thresholds that you need to for you to win the presidency. Also, so today in the discussion, we're asking, do you think it's possible to win the presidency without a coalition? Give me your thoughts below. And in this discussion, it's based off, the fact that DP Ruto has said that he is not going to form a coalition. He's not interested. And somebody else who has contributed to this debate is the Service Party leader, Mwangi Kiunjuri, who differed with the DP's strategy. Yeah, for 2022. The DP has insinuated that he does not need coalitions ahead of next year's polls. And the former CS says that political parties in Kenya are primarily regional parties that come together to form a national party. And nobody at this particular point can boast that they have a national party. It says that we are basically, what we have are regional parties first, who try to become national parties. Do you agree with him? And so these two stories are forming a conversation for today in the comments. Do you think it's possible to win an election without a coalition as a party? The scenario in 2013, URP and Jubilee and TNA, came together to form the Jubilee Coalition. And in 2017, they collapsed all the parties and formed the Jubilee Party. And what made Jubilee Party strong in 2017 is the fact that it was a conglomeration of parties. There was many parties collapsed and they formed one party. So it was technically a coalition that became one party. Although they have their problems right now. But the question is it possible to go at it as a party, as a new party, and clinch all the seats that you need, to get the presidency and to govern? Thank you so much for Antonio Mukwe just joining us now. Bernardo Da Vinci says, is it possible, depending on the plan, as long as tribal numbers? You're also saying something about tribal numbers, yeah? It's an important conversation we need to have. Jackson Mutuku, you're here. Thank you so much. Are you back from Korea? You're saying never. Jackson is saying never. It's not possible. Who else is here? Benson Mushangi and everybody else who's joining us right now. Yes, give me your thoughts in the comments. Is it possible for you to win the presidency and basically have a strong enough party to govern the country without forming some sort of coalition? Yeah, at this particular point, we only have one certified coalition. That is the One Kenya Alliance, who are yet to give us their presidential candidate. I mean, Gideon Moi has said he's going to run, Musalia Mudavadi as well. And Kalonzo Musyoka is about to give a press conference, by the way, a few minutes from now to announce that he will be officially running. So, yeah, Those are the developments. So is it possible for you to go at it alone as a party and win? Yeah? So a discussion we need to have. The constitution has made it technically impossible for you to, go alone and win. Yeah? Remember that threshold I've given you. 250 plus 1, 50% of all the votes, half of the votes plus one vote, and at least 25% in at least 24 counties. That is what you need. Meanwhile, still in intrigues to do with the elections, the Star this morning reported on a plan by former nominated Senator Paul Njoroge to postpone next year's general elections. So the former senator is reported to have written to the IEBC demanding that elections be postponed to August 2023. He argues that Uhuru's term began when he was sworn in, and that was on November 28th, 2017. This was after the elections were cancelled, the presidential elections were cancelled. And he said that technically that is when his term began. So if the elections are held on the August 8th, 2022, President Uhuru will be denied 4 months of his tenure. So the next date the elections should be held should be August 2023. And he wants the IEBC and the Attorney General to respond to this within 30 days or he will go to court. So soon we might have another big petition. Remember the BBI, we're still awaiting for that ruling, and another case to determine whether we are going to go to the polls on August 8th, 2022. Meanwhile, Raila Odinga, he was in the coast. As I told you last week, he was meeting with President Uhuru, and he spoke to journalists yesterday and clarified the reason for his meeting with President Uhuru in Mombasa. He said they did not have a specific agenda. They were just holidaying together. They were just chilling, at the beach. And he joked that their meeting was just based on their friendship, and they were just catching up and chatting up. Yeah, and he also attended a service yesterday at ACK Mombasa Memorial Cathedral, and he also urged Kenyans to get vaccinated, by the way, because we have received extra COVID-19 vaccines. But earlier, David Murathe had said that the president is going to back Raila Odinga, and in fact, Murathe said we should prepare for a Raila presidency. So there's that as well. But Raila says there was no specific agenda. If they wanted to address the country with a specific agenda, they would have. So yeah. That's all regarding Raila's meeting with Uhuru at the coast. And speaking of presidents, new details have emerged how Uganda's president Yoweri Museveni helped save Deep Root's associate. His name is Matthias Magula. This is a guy he was talking about who owns Day Pharmaceuticals. This is a company that the DP helped get a 15 billion loan. And Museveni revealed that Ugandan authorities froze the company's accounts after receiving huge amounts of cash from a Kenyan bank. And he stepped in to save the company, which was going to produce enough medicine, including COVID-19 vaccines for Uganda. He also scolded his own financial intelligence authority, saying that they ought to have done their homework and find out where that money was coming from. Because if they did their work, they would have found out that that money was actually legit from a bank that was financing the construction of that, pharmaceutical company in UG. So, yeah, Museveni was aware of all of this. Now, before we talk about other news, let me see who's here. Let me see some of your comments. Today we're asking, is it possible to win the presidency without forming a coalition? Yeah, the Constitution has set the threshold. And by the way, there's a very interesting rule. That if only one person declares that they are running for president and nobody else does, then that person automatically gets declared president. Can you imagine if we had a crazy scenario where only one person nominated themselves to be interested in running for president and nobody else? So we automatically make that person the president. That's what the Constitution says. It's right there in the Constitution. Thought you should know that. Let me check out some of your thoughts on this. Zakaria Mbogwa unasema Kenya is a conglomerate of tribal nations. That's the undeniable fact. Only a foolish politician will imagine otherwise. Thanks, Zakaria. Boniface Atika, you're saying, of course there is not people not people. These coalitions make us confused. You love the one-sided. You love the ones selected as a president, and you hate the other, and vice versa. A party can, but for now, there is no party that can win because these parties are located on a specific place. Western for Western. So Boniface Atika anasema no. Bernardo anasema it is possible depending on the plan as long as we have tribal numbers. Yeah, that's regarding our main topic for today. Let's go to other news today. You might have seen a viral video of somebody being assaulted in an NYS bus, and so NYS released a statement saying that they took disciplinary action against those NYS officers who were caught on camera assaulting a civilian aboard an NYS bus. You can see this is a video that has been going viral on social media. This is what is happening. And so NYS says that those officials have been arrested. He said that this began when this gentleman in blue insulted one of the NYS officials, and that's how they responded and say that disciplinary action has been taken against them. Yeah, this left a lot of people with a bad taste in their mouth. It's just shameful. And speaking of security officials gone rogue, there was drama in Tarakanidi after a police officer drove off with a police vehicle that was carrying the body of a suspect who had been lynched by a mob. And police had to mount roadblocks to apprehend the rogue officer. And Merimati Police Station OCS explained the incident later and said that the officer was not of sound mind while committing this offense. And I have a story that's coming up that regards to this, the state of mind of police officers. But hang on. Meanwhile, kama uko na deni ya KRA have announced a waiver on all penalties and interests, for all taxpayers who have outstanding balances. Najua watu wengi hamkufile returns some years back, and now you have a fine. So you can apply for that waiver. Before, you could only do it by going to KRA offices physically, but now they have fixed that issue. Now it's available on iTax, so you can apply for a waiver on iTax. So be informed. Some more good news as well. NHIF monthly contributions for informal workers will now be reduced from 500 shillings to 300 bob. I know this is a big one, and this is part of the proposed changes in the NHIF Amendment Bill of 2021, which wants to make the monthly contribution amount for more affordable to low-income earners. It's really good, and I have to say, if you have ever been in a situation where you need medical attention or someone from your family needs medical attention, NHIF can come through really, really strongly. So now that amount is going to be reduced from 500 bob to 300 bob a month. Yeah, some good news, right? And in other news, in the murder case of musician Peter Ochieng, he was known as Storm. He was the communications assistant to Kandui MP Wafula Wamunyini. This case has taken a new twist after a crucial witness was killed on Saturday. He's a 35-year-old Edward Maruti, who was killed after two men ambushed him at his home and attacked him and his family. According to Kimilili OCPD Mwita Marwa, the victim had handed names of the suspects involved in the killing of the MP's assistant, and police believe that those implicated in the murder of the MP's aide were the same people who targeted Maruti, who was a key witness in that case, and his wife. In other news, still from Western, 4 schools in Lurambi in Kakamega, they're counting losses after thugs who were dressed as police officers broke into their administration blocks and stole money and other valuables. Watchmen from Mahiakalo Secondary School, Nyayo T-Zone Primary, Mwinyala Primary, and Mahiakalo Primary School, they blamed police for not taking action after issuing distress calls after this incident happened. I mean, thugs dressed as police officers come and steal from schools. Anyway, bizarre as it sounds. And as I said, I promised to tell you about something to do with the state of mind or the mental health of police officers. And this regards the latest in the murder of Kenjakoma brothers case. So the Kenya Counseling and Psychological Association has blamed the killing of the two brothers under police custody in Embu on drug abuse. They spoke during a visit to the family of the late Benson and Emmanuel Ndwega, and they said that drug abuse among police officers is responsible for their abnormal behavior while at work. So they say that the police officers who could have committed these murders were under the influence, and they also stated that police under influence of drugs are triggered to use excessive force while carrying out their duties. That's all you need to know from there.